We are coming to the most important match for these two archers, for Ouk Soo from Korea and Alberto Simonelli from Italia.
Compound Open Men gold medal finals match.
I have to say one thing, Ouk Soo, 21st in the world ranking, 19th in the ranking round. He made his way to the final, defeating some important archers, but the fact is we have the 19th of the qualification in the gold medal final. He has already a silver medal on the neck and can fight against Alberto Simonelli.
Makes you wonder if perhaps he had an equipment problem or something that he struggled with in the qualification round.
No, he's the 21st in the world ranking, so it's his ranking.
Then maybe we think the reverse, that he's just had one heck of a good event here, and he's enjoyed and been a benefit of the organization and the fine weather that we've had. He's been a very consistently strong shooter as he's made his way to this gold medal match. 140 in the 132nd round, a 141 in the 116th round, a 147 in the 1/8, a 143 in the quarterfinals, and a 148. Only 2 points less from perfect in the semifinal round. He opens up the match.
And I checked one thing. If Lee wins this match, the host country of this event gets one more quota place. I was told this morning that because all the volunteers know that I'm Italian, I said, who are you cheering in the last final of the morning? I said, Italy. But we all cheer the Korean, because if the Korean wins, our German guy gets a spot. Because then that's what I understood. I don't know if it's true, I have not confirmed. So we will have Germans here that will cheer for Korea, and a lot of Italians cheering for Italy.
Lee is starting out strong. 2 X's down there, side by side. And Simonelli just a little warming up, I think, getting used to the crowd. A high 8 from Lee, but a good start with those X's.
And Alberto Simonelli, we said before, is the coach of Eleonora Sarti. They are working together day by day, and actually
there's a 10, maybe an X. I'm not going to call it an X from here, but it looks like...
It's definitely a 10.
It is definitely a 10.
We find a compromise. I want to say of Alberto Simonelli holds world records. He is in the able-bodied constantly in the Italian team in the World Cup. So he did last year he was in Medellin, this year he was in Shanghai. So he is constantly shooting at a quite high level with able-bodied.
So in Italy, as you've explained to us already, you have some archers who are professionals.
He unfortunately is not yet, but they are fighting to get him in, because there are always limited positions to get archers into it. It depends on if they are working, so nobody will leave the work to be an archer. But if you have not a work and if you have a good perspective, then the federations, that means in the able-bodied it's just the one federation, the FITARCO, and in the disabled it's both the MPC chip and the FITARCO fighting to get spots into the sports groups of the army or the police. So Eleonora is in the police, and Alberto is in the queue. So he is number 1 or 2 of the queue of being the next sportsman, being part of a full-time job. If he wins here, that will aid. That will be a help.
That will add to his resume, certainly.
But Lee is not easy to beat. He comes up from a 19th place in the ranking round and is now really shooting good. It's the third 10 out of 4 arrows. while Alberto Simonelli, they call him Rolly because he's in a wheelchair. The able-bodied gave him this name, and he's a very hilarious person, so he's just joking on it. He said, yes, I am Rolly. And then he starts giving names to his friends in the able-bodied as well, so he's really doing these games with them.
Wonderful.
He's a very nice person. But we have Lee that is not so nice to Alberto.
Oh, he's making it tough for Alberto. He says you're going to have to earn this, and Alberto answers with an X.
So it's the promised high-level match to conclude this morning session. We will have right after the session the award ceremonies that we will show live as well.
Yes, please stay with us and celebrate the athlete wins on the podium.
But we have the 10-10-10 from Lee Ouk Soo.
Oh, there's our second
one.
Still just our second one of the day, Andreas.
Simonelli, 10.
And I probably shouldn't complain. I'm not out there shooting. I'm not out on the line. I'm not, feeling the heart race, the heartbeat race, and things like that. So it's not to say that our competition is any less because we don't have so many 10-10-10s, but it's exciting when we get to see them. We've had strong competition all morning.
Alberto was handed over his scope. He wanted to see his group. He wanted to see if he has to move the side. He decided not to move it. I think Lee doesn't move anything.
I wouldn't if I were him.
He just shot 1-8 and 5 10s. So 1 arrow out of the yellow and 5 10s.
All right, let's continue with your Paralympic quota tracker. I think we may have left off around Latvia when Andreas and I started a conversation about the new teams that we've seen here, the new countries that we've seen represented. And Latvia, I believe, is one of those, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, they've won one quota place for recurve open women. Mongolia, one recurve open women man's position. Poland, recurve open 2 positions, 1 man, 1 woman. Russia, a very strong country in para archery. We'll go back to the match that's just now starting, and Simonelli is trailing the match by 1 point, and we'll start this third end with the first arrow. And maybe he likes this position. Maybe he'd rather shoot first. That was a strong shot.
Lee Ouk Soo. Strong shot.
10, almost an X. We call it a 10 from here, I think, for Andreas, yes?
Simonelli, 9.
In either case, a 10 and X still score the same amount of points. It's just the more perfect shot, or the closer to the center shot that all the archers strive for. Nice 10 from Lee. He's very solid. His target, you can see the arrow patterns there on his target when we see it. It's nice and tight.
He knows that these arrows are his Paralympic qualification.
Absolutely.
Simonelli, 9.
Simonelli is a little bit wider in the group. He is hitting in the yellow, but not hitting the 10. What Lee is doing, because...
and we could see another 10-10-10 here, Andreas. Oh my goodness, look at that group.
So we have 6 10s in a row.
6. He is definitely making a challenge to Alberto Simonelli.
And you hear cheering the Germans and
yes,
the Koreans together?
Absolutely. Lots of people in the crowds really being participants in this match, encouraging the athletes to keep shooting. Target judges are up doing their work. The archers' agents confirming what we have potentially shared with you and you've seen on your screen. Looks like the scores are confirmed. The archers are marking the arrow holes. The arrows are in the target, the arrow holes that are on the target are marked in case an arrow should pass completely through, or it should hit the target and rebound for whatever reason it is. In the case of a pass-through or a bounce-out, as we call it, the hole that is unmarked is the value that the athlete gets for arrows that go through that particular circumstance. We don't see it so much in medal matches. We do see it in qualification rounds.
Alberto will shoot first.
230s from the gentleman out there. Alberto still going back to the last match, or the last start. Will still down by 2. Oh, now down by 3 points. I'm sorry.
3.6 arrows.
Now's the time to put the pressure on. Like I said, maybe he actually likes to shoot first.
Lee with his next arrow. He has 6 10s in a row, 8 of 9 arrows in the 10, and he shoots the next one. This is a score that you find at highest level in the World Cups.
And the grouping that he has as
awesome.
well is just absolutely.
Another 10. He tries to respond. He tries to respond, and
good response.
Lee 7 10s in a row. We count the 10s here, not the total. Another 8 10s in a row.
8 10s.
You know,
he's challenging the former world champion. Says, I want to play at your level.
The score of Alberto is, by the way, absolutely
nice.
okay. 30s. We were arguing about the 30s not being shot.
Now we're getting them all in this last
all
match.
in
of
this
the
last
morning.
match. Awesome
well,
match. Awesome match.
Absolutely.
And the 9.
And 9.
So 2 points lead. 115. So 5 points lost in the whole match until now by Simonelli. 3 points lost by Lee in this with 12 arrows. So 117, 115, 2 points lead for Ouk Soo and Alberto Simonelli in the comfortable position to put pressure on him, starting the 5th set. Yes, and I call them set, but at the end it's an end.
Heads are nodding down at the target. Everybody seems to be in agreement in the value of the arrows. The judges on the radio confirming. So we can probably move forward and actually say that yes, the scores are confirmed. Simonelli has gained a point. He's down by 2. That's going to make for an interesting final end on our last match for this morning's competition with the Compound Men Open. We talked a little bit about the difference in equipment between the W1s and the Opens. There are open men and women are allowed to have scope sights with magnification, allowed to have peep sights. A peep is essentially a back sight, as you imagine a rifle has the back sight on the closest to the athlete and the front sight out on the barrel of the gun. Peep sight is
it's a view reduction so that you can focus the lens. Because with the magnification, the smaller the peep is, the clearer the view becomes. On the other hand, if it's too small, you lose light. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you have larger peeps with a peep clarifier in it. So it's a whole different options that you can have as a combat archer.
Definitely an advantage, though.
Yeah. So Alberto.
You see the countdown clock in the background shows he has 8 seconds left.
My Italian heart still hopes for the Italian anthem.
That was a beautiful 10x.
And Lee has to answer with a 10. If not, he reduces
his lead.
And it's 1 point. Simonelli needs another 10.
The excitement should be growing in this venue.
At an extremely high level final. Again, I say we are in a high in a one
solid shot. 9. Still
in a good 140 level. A 10 from Lee could be a...
Look at that solid bow arm out there. You don't see it wobble. You don't see it shake. 2 9s. Interesting.
He opens up the door. Alberto needs a 10 to be able to force Lee to shoot a 10 to win.
That's a tough position to be in. They have to know that you have to shoot a 10 to win.
Simonelli 9.
It's a 9, so
Alberto.
the door's open just a little bit, but this is not the best end yet that Lee has shot.
Yeah, but he needs a 9 to win, and I'm pretty sure Lee will do it.
It's
an X.
Shoots an X. X10. Nice.
World champion Lee Ouk Soo climbing up from the 19th spot in the ranking round, now winning the world title and the spot for the Paralympics.
Good job. Gentlemen, marvelous competition. Thank you for the drama and excitement in this last end, but came down to the last arrow and we had to see it win. That's absolutely what we come for.
And 145, 143 is a result you can really be proud of. It's a huge result for Lee Ouk Soo. 145, great result. And Alberto Simonelli, also congratulations to your silver medal.
So that is our final match of the morning.
A short 10 count for Lee. We have 4 arrows out of the 10, 11 10s.
Marvelous. Really phenomenal shooting. Thank you, gentlemen. And thank you, spectators and online viewers who are with us.